I see like blue lights from me flashing. Tell us about it. I'll look kind of over there. Down at that shit. Go over past the school, wherever that is. Wherever Wally, whatever it's called. And they had somebody pulled over there. It's kind of crazy because I never see cops in that exact spot. Like they're usually way further if they're,
When I was coming home,
You okay?
I was in the passenger, so I was going past some people. But then I was just kind of listening to music. I was hearing seeing life on So I get over to the slow lane. Behind another guy. He just keeps going past me. Like, oh, okay. Maybe
Lucky break.
Right.
Yeah.
Get over a couple of hills, and then there was some massive wreck on the side of the road. I'm like, oh, I think that's probably what that was.
Yeah, probably. So that, just that.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm alive, man.
You okay? I'm good. How are you?
Just FYI before he gets started, Laura and I are trying to compile the child
Have
haven
you heard
list
from Dane at all? He hasn't
to
been.
try to make it easier for support. I know Lauren picked up some stuff this weekend. We haven't quite figured it out because we want to make it even for everyone. And so it's coming. It may be more on our end of like getting a certain gift card to somewhere or giving the money to go get a gift card to somewhere. Cause I think we said gift cards, like I said, a minimum 25, so that everybody who gets a gift card gets the same amount on the gift card.
Yep.
To try to keep it fair.
Okay.
But, so probably next Sunday, there'll be more information.
Cool, sounds good.
What time?
You don't have to know yet.
6:30?
That sounds great. That's what I was gonna say. That sound good?
We have a breakfast with Santa at 10 if you would like to come see Santa Claus and get your picture taken. Tell them what you want for Christmas.
Sometimes.
I mean, it's,
Inconsistent.
So Santa at 10?
oh, also, has anyone seen my hot glue gun?
It was over
He's in
there.
there.
Yeah, it was on display over there for.
Yeah, I know it,
It should be back there, I think.
I forgot her.
Yeah.
because I need it for Christmas decorations.
So fine to get a deal.
It's big enough to do. I put that in.
That's kind of
We're
crazy.
trying to do what you want to keep, but it, fires and time.
Oh, right now in my house.
Google.
I think it's bigger than what I
That was on purpose.
Yeah.
It's a European turkey.
I believe
No,
that.
I did 2 years ago.
Oh, that's still thinking about Christmas anymore.
What?
I'm still thinking about Christmas anymore.
I can't help but think about it. Because every
I was like, that's.
The vibes are good, but also it's like, no one will shut up about it past Halloween and even before that.
Yeah.
Where they're all shut up.
I found it, I'm not gonna.
I just want it's like,
This makes
it's not
sense.
Thanksgiving.
I like Thanksgiving. Food is really good.
Yes, that's
But like, why can't we celebrate both at the same time?
Well, the thing is that Christmas is always gonna win because people like receiving things more than they do saving things.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure that out.
Yeah, right. That's why everyone's scared straight to Christmas. People like this stuff.
And you have the old people that still think it's Halloween.
It's right, right.
There's no words to it.
We got a prayer request, y'all? People keep in mind,
Turkeys.
pray for turkeys. Yep.
Pray for turkey.
My friend said, he's been on the prayer list. He's got cancer. Anyway, it's come back and it's metastatic. He has pneumonia and the flu, is in the hospital, and they're just trying to get him back home before Thanksgiving.
Wow. Okay. Okay. You said he's been on the prayer list for a minute?
Yeah, well, he's been under cancer treatments.
Got you.
So, but his his kids, I think his oldest set of twins are 7th grade, yeah, and then he's got 2 younger boys.
Okay,
So it's just, it's rough on them.
that's rough.
Yeah, he's probably not gonna make it.
I got you. Okay. Okay, anybody else? A lot of people traveling today. I think Gary and family are out of town.
Gary and Lauren.
Okay, just, yeah, the two of
Yeah,
them
I have the
are
rest
out
of
of
the
town.
family.
I got you. So not all of them are out of town.
Yeah.
There's no prayer list.
Yeah, prayers.
They come home today.
First,
Okay.
right?
I have one,
Rest
I
of
don't
Megan.
want 4 children.
Yeah.
Too much getting ready in the morning. Hey, but we were going time.
You were.
They were.
You were.
I don't know. Is he not in class?
Oh, I don't know. You said 4 kids and they're
Oh,
going
Josh.
He's old enough to be.
Yeah, Joshua stayed home by himself. So when I forgot that he was there, and I had to go Saturday morning to get stuff for baking bread, and I had to text him real quick so he didn't come down the stairs with a gun, and I was coming in the house. Forgot
Good time. Good time. Okay. A lot of people traveling though right now. A lot of people will be on the road this week, so just keep people in mind for safe travels and, having time with their families. Anybody else prayer requests? All right, we'll go ahead and continue our study. I do want to talk about some scheduling. We kind of mentioned this a little bit before. This Wednesday, we are not meeting in here. So Tuesday, we'll have a special Thanksgiving service. So if you want to come Wednesday, Godspeed, we will not be here. I support you, but we will not be here with you. In spirit, perhaps, but not in person. So Wednesday, we won't be here. We're having a Tuesday special Thanksgiving service. The 21st December, I will be out of town, so I'll get with some of the fill-ins, or we'll find out what we want to do for that Sunday. And then December 13th, is that right?
Yes.
At 6:30,
Yes.
holiday party
Yes.
or Christmas party?
Yes.
I would say holiday, but that's a little too this, so we gotta say Christmas party. Okay, finger foods, or what do we want to do?
Who be in there?
TBD. Bird, you want to make a decision on the spot here?
Sausage balls.
Sausage balls.
For sure.
Chicken
That's
tenders.
it. That's all we're
Chicken
eating.
tenders.
Sausage balls. That's
Chicken
all.
tenders.
That's it.
Oh, and the little white cookie things.
Wedding
Wedding cookies.
Wedding cookies.
Well, wedding cookies. No wedding, just cookies.
If somebody wants to bring Little Debbie Christmas,
Yeah.
tree,
Yeah, definitely.
Little Debbie's, we can do that.
I know.
Are you writing this down?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
It's right
okay.
here.
And Thanksgiving leftovers.
Brownies with nuts.
Brownies with nuts,
Yes.
unless you have
I second
allergies.
that motion.
Anybody have allergies?
Well, then they just want the brownies.
We'll find out. All right. And so then, I think the same day, Santa at 10 o'clock?
Where's the baby?
I don't know.
Forgot to.
Yes, Santa.
Also, it's good to see you too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, baby,
glad to see you. It's true. It's gotta be nice to a point though, right?
It is good to see
Yeah.
you.
It's like,
Yeah. Here you go.
can you go sit down? Yeah.
You take the first bite and I have to.
Santa at 10 o'clock on the 13th? Well,
If you want your big
That's
bag,
great.
Miss Santa.
That's real.
I mean, if anyone would like to come help wrangle little kids.
are you saying I
come.
can't sit on Santa's lap? Because that's offensive.
Amen.
Well, I think it's
Stop
on his
hating
lap.
And he's a nice looking Santa.
Stop hating.
I mean, he's legit.
We're not gonna come. I don't know if anybody saw Caden's pictures, but we're not gonna be.
I hear that Caden loves Santa.
Oh, it's his favorite.
No, it's a real Santa.
Yeah.
Let me find a picture of him.
I was turning into a thing now.
Are we hiring a
Are
Santa?
you, is it Gilligan?
Yes.
Is it just Jesse?
Heel.
You
He does
can still come and then just hide him when Santa comes in.
Okay.
All the kids are celebrating, and he's like, "What's going on?" Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then on New Year's, 12/31, do we want to have a New Year's party finger food thing?
Yeah. We do.
I guess
I do.
I do. Bert, you
Which
want
day?
to
What day?
12/31?
I think
So Wednesday.
it's in the works of having one after school. I mean, after church,
Alright.
Wednesday night.
I
I
know.
have like a game night.
I got you. Game night, party night.
Yes.
Bert, do you want to make a decision on what finger foods are going to be there?
Sausage balls.
Sausage balls.
Wedding cookies.
Yeah.
Wedding cookies.
Brownies with nuts.
With nuts.
You still can't make it.
Yeah.
You have to drive back.
Any gluten-free options?
Also,
Obviously, boom.
Decaf coffee? No. Okay, good. TBD.
I'll be there. That sounds great.
Mine too.
Anything else, other announcements from the schedule we need to keep in mind? I think we're pretty tight on that.
it's not.
As tight as we can be.
Okay. It is,
We've been talking about how Jesus handled stress. And I want to talk about something that's relevant to us today, since we're all going to be on the road, we're all going to be seeing family. And that is seeing past people's faults and seeing past people's problems and issues and struggles and seeing people's souls. This is something that Jesus did very well, and we want to kind of glean off of how Jesus did this and sort of apply it to our lives as well. So it's very easy to see people on their surface level, who they are, what they look like, to a point what they smell like. It's a factor. How they behave, how they act, socioeconomic factors, all that kind of stuff. But we want to look at how Jesus dealt with people on a soul level. And so looking past just the material, looking past what's on the outside and what's on the inside. So he did this primarily with the lost. Let's go to Matthew 9 and verse 36. Matthew 9 and verse 36. Whoever wants to get that for us. Matthew 9, 36.
When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them, because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd.
Like sheep without a shepherd, which is an interesting way of seeing people who are lost, people who are seeking your attention. What would have been the temptation, and maybe how do you think Jesus' disciples would have seen the crowds and the lost very often?
Doesn't bother.
A bother. Something to schedule, or like a checklist to do. Yeah. Anybody else? Oh, why were they often coming to Jesus? Often. Feelings, questions, occasionally food. Parents, when your children, the first thing they see you after a long day at work and they say, "What are we eating tonight?" Not exactly the best feeling in the world. So a lot of times they're coming from material needs, healings, prayers, blessings. So it's very easy for them probably to see the crowds as a nuisance, something just to get done with. All right, we've had your time with them, and now we gotta move on. How does Jesus see the crowds?
As a soul.
So good. Did you read the screen?
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
There's
So
context clues.
thank you. Instead, he draws on a lot of Old Testament literature, Old Testament imagery. These are lost sheep having no person to lead them. They're sheep without a shepherd. He also sees how they're feeling. The NASB says they are distressed and downcast. Anybody else have a different translation? Besides distressed and downcast?
Distressed and dejected.
Dejected. Oh, a lot of D's going on. We got like the alliteration going on. Okay. Anybody does not have an alliteration?
They were weary and scattered.
Weary and scattered. We broke it. Is that the KJV? All right. I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
No, it's the NKJV.
We'll still let you in heaven.
I'll diversify.
Distressed and dispirited.
Ooh, distressed and dispirited. What's that?
NASB 95.
95. I got the 20.
Yeah, but the 20 doesn't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, it says what you said.
Yeah, the 20 say, yeah. So point being, he sees past who they are on the surface level, and he looks further deep into their character. Like what are they needing? So this encourages Jesus and makes him want to spend more time with them. In particular, it helps him understand why they're behaving the way they are, and trying to meet their needs. We do see a lot of this in his interaction with people, individuals too. There's a very famous example of the woman at the well in John chapter 4. Give me some characteristics of the woman at the well. You can also turn there and look in your Bible if you like, but it's a common story that we talk about. John 4. What is it? What's going on with this woman?
Wouldn't you like a harlot?
A little harsh. We know it doesn't say she's a harlot.
She's been married.
She's been married 5 times. So that's not necessarily right. Which honestly, from their point of view, they probably would have said that. Now, was she really, back and forth? But anyone, any good respecting person, if they saw her, that's what they would have said. Good respecting person. Exactly right. The Chosen, when it gets to this point, it kind of makes it seem like she's in abusive relationships. If you've seen The Chosen in that section, that may or may not be true. But the reality is she cannot keep a stable relationship for whatever reason. It's either that the husbands keep passing her off and giving her no reason for the divorce, or they are abusive to her, whatever the situation is. We know this because it's the middle of the day in John chapter 4, and she's just now drawing water. Why is that weird?
She's going, nobody there.
Yeah. So you normally go at the beginning of the day, and you'd really draw water for your entire family for the whole day. So you wouldn't have to, in the middle of the day, go back and get water. She's coming in the middle of the day, no one's around. So it's Jesus and this woman. But Jesus asked her a lot of questions. She's obviously Samaritan. He's a Jew. So she asked him, why are you talking to me? There's that initial difference. She's a woman and he's a man, and they're alone, which in Jewish culture and antiquity is not okay for them to be alone. And we eventually get to the point where Jesus says, call your husband, which is weird. I don't know if she didn't feel comfortable or he was pointing out the obvious there, but eventually that kind of rolls around, that dynamic. But he ultimately sees through all of that and sees to her need, which is she needs to have time with the Messiah. She also has this need of salvation that Jesus can offer. It is funny when Jesus' disciples come back, how the disciples act when they come back. Because they're going to Sychar, they're going to town to get bread and get food because they realize they don't have any. Left Jesus there. When the disciples come back, how do they act seeing them together?
They were like, why were you doing that?
Yeah. I think their exact phrase is something to the effect of have you eaten today? Which is to say, are you delirious? Right? I mean, you're not acting like you're supposed to. What's wrong with you? Why are you hanging out with her, right? Jesus very famously says back, I have food that you don't know about. Which is great, because it's they're asking sorry we forgot food, sorry you're acting crazy, and he's saying there's something else going on here that you don't fully understand, which is to do the will of his Father. There's also Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus in Luke chapter 19, the wee little man, not Lazarus, as we discussed a couple of classes ago, but Zacchaeus, because I messed up the Lazarus thing. Zacchaeus is a tax collector. He's little, no one really likes him. Yet Jesus chooses to spend time with him, go to his house, have dinner. When the Pharisees and people of higher stature, when they saw Jesus with Zacchaeus, what's their response?
What you doing with this man?
Yeah. So of all the people, you come into Jericho, of all the people that you could have eaten with, you chose the tax collector. Why is that?
So they began to complain.
Yeah.
Because he was with the sinner.
Yeah, he was with a sinner. So it's why this guy? What makes him so special? I have a very nice house, and I obey the law of Moses.
Yeah.
Why not me? Jesus says back to them, it's not the righteous or not the well who need a physician or a doctor. It's the sick. Jesus sees past the good things he has on because of his lifestyle and because of his cheating people in his profession. He sees past his nice house that he has on and realizes underneath he's sinful and he has a need to return back. One more example that kind of stands out to me, Luke chapter 7. There's the woman, the sinful woman, as some translations say, the sinful woman who anoints Jesus' feet, which is admittedly a really weird situation. So they're all, what? Well, for us, it's a weird situation for us. It would have been for them too, though, because, it's so normally this job would have been reserved for a slave, a servant. You go in and you anoint somebody's feet and you take care of them, wash their feet. This lady does it with her own savings, apparently. And she does it with her own hair, which is like, okay, which is just like, it's different for us, but it would have been something special for them. But the disciples get kind of rubbed the wrong way. Who is this woman? Where did she come from? Jesus, instead, he sees her heart, her genuine spirit, and says, hey, she's done something for me that you could not have done. So again, it's a way of Jesus seeing through people's outside, sometimes through the weirdness, and seeing their actual spirit, like seeing what's going on inside of them. How do you think we can apply what Jesus does here to the lost in our lives?
First, don't judge them. I mean, where they're at in life, and how you got word judging, but
Yeah.
Just because they look a certain way, or or rough, and you gotta look past that.
It's easy to do that first. It's easy to see them and go like, I've made a whole entire decision about the person's life and character and everything. But if we're being more like Christ, there's something underneath. And we might ask the question, how did they get to that point in life? Do you think Jesus had that internal dialogue with himself? How did this person get here and not just where they are now? Is there something underneath that I need to consider? I think this is helpful for us because when we look at the lost and we talk about them, sometimes we talk about them like they're the enemy. And I'm not trying to rag on preachers, but a lot of times we fall into this thing of the world is evil and the sinners are evil and they're out to get the church. Sometimes it's true, like sometimes. In the large majority of cases, they're actually just souls who have fallen into sin and are now, as the book of Romans puts it, they're slaves to sin. They're slaves to a master who beats them and abuses them and hates them. And so now their behaviors reflect that. I'm abusive to myself. I'm abusive to my family. I'm abusive in X, Y, and Z way, and I have no hope. Whereas we are people who've met the Christ. We have this hope within us. And if we look at them as people who have no hope and say, yeah, you're hopeless, we confirm what they've been told by their master, by the people around them. We're only confirming that, yeah, no, you deserve to be in this spot. What's the problem with that dynamic with Christians and the lost?
Condemnation is not ours to give.
Yeah, it's not really up for me to decide, is it? Also, where were we before we were servants of the better master? Were we?
We have to see on both sides of it, we have to see their hopelessness. It's our response to that hopelessness that's potentially a problem.
Yeah.
But we're a source of the potential hope. We're the source of the hope that they can have.
Yeah.
But only if we view it that way and act on it that way.
That's right. Yeah. So there's a chance for us to look past the surface.
Yeah,
And
we've got to.
yeah, and into what's underneath. I say that because I know for a fact you're going to go back to your Thanksgiving meal with your family, and there is going to be that relative or person that you see that can't keep a relationship, or they've been in and out of drugs or whatever. And I know I have them, so I know you have them. And there's that funny thing that goes on that you anticipate before you see them. And you're, well, last year they said this to me and whatever. I'm not saying we can fix all of those problems in a 1 hour Thanksgiving meal, but could we be a little more like Christ if we think about it and choose to see the soul underneath and ask, how did you get here? Where do we go from here? Those kinds of questions. Any thoughts, comments on that?
I can't remember who the quote is from, but I remember hearing a quote a couple semesters ago in class about how a Christian must be the worst sinner to himself. Like he has to view himself as the worst of all sinners, as to avoid viewing himself as any better than anyone around him.
That's a good point.
That's what Paul did.
Yeah,
Paul said.
exactly right. Paul the Apostle, the chief of sinners, which when I was a kid, that was the chief was the old KJV. No offense, it's fine. But it was the old KJV. But when I heard that, I always thought about like a literal chief of a tribe. and he's sitting like at a campfire, and I don't know why I thought that. We would say the ruler of sinners, maybe, or he is the king of sinners, perhaps. He is the center of all sinners. So I think that's a good philosophy to take. When you look at somebody, you might now be in a better place, but it's not because of what you did. It's because of the change that Christ made in you. And the reality is someone had to look at us and say, that poor guy, and they have to be like Christ to us. So that, if we don't break that cycle, we're kind of doomed to repeat it. Any thoughts, comments on that? I want to try to offend you. Okay, he did the same thing for their enemies too. So just because we look at certain people, and we kind of have compassion on them, there are admittedly some people who we just need to call a spade and say, looking past their the facade on the outside. So Christ was not he was not shy when it came to this. So let's look at Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Someone read for us Matthew 7 and verse 15.
Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves.
So it's someone who has the outside look of innocence, but inside they mean to do harm. Let's just be real. Are there people out there in our world that are like this?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we also should not be afraid sometimes to call a spade a spade. I know sometimes we want to do this thing where, we want to balance, give everybody the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, there's some good. But I think, again, if Jesus was able to see past that and say, no, that's objectively evil, then I think we could also do that. What situations and what type of people did Jesus normally have this encounter with?
People who should have known better.
Pharisees.
Generally people who should have known better and had taken a step back into pretty much evil and abuse and objectivity, right? You have his famous Matthew 23 with the woes? And not like, whoa, like Bill and Ted, but like, you like that? Yeah. You can tell who was. I know, you can tell we haven't seen the movie. I know, we'll watch the movie one time. It's fine. But more like an Old Testament, woe to you, God's going to judge you kind of way. So Matthew 23, rather, he goes, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees. Hypocrites. Yeah, John the Baptist calls them a brood of vipers. So sometimes there is a point where we don't need to mince words or fool ourselves or be, fooled with the outside glitter and glam. And we can look past that and see their actual intentions. Any thoughts about this or comments? I will tell you not to get political. Or you can be the look.
Because you're giving me a lot.
Sorry, I want to give you the look. So a lot of times, these, in the same way that Christ saw this, there are people in power and authority who say the right things and they look great and smell great. I'm weird about smell, by the way. So well, it's true though. If you smell somebody, they walk past you and they smell like $1 million, you're like, yeah, that person must have it together. I'm not crazy. You're crazy. So if they have it all together, now she's giving me the look. If they have it all together, looking nice, and they're saying the right things, we need to be extra critical and just wary of what they're actually doing underneath. Because it's easy to say the right thing, but in reality, be very, very far from God. Any thoughts about this or comments?
A lot of the people that he was calling that to, it's like it was the Pharisees, but I mean, we also have an account of him directly speaking with a Pharisee in good faith. It wasn't just people that were had been led astray and were continuing to lead other people astray. It were people who were not arguing or teaching in good faith whatsoever.
Exactly right. It wasn't anyone in authority, period.
Right.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's a good point.
The ones we think are okay that are not, the ones that we think are bad are not, right?
Often.
Yeah,
very often. Yeah. It's there's even a situation where Jesus speaks to Pilate. Pilate's really not. It's hard with Pilate. He's really not a good or bad figure. I know we kind of demonize Pilate, but Pilate's job is just to mediate the Roman government and the people. So Pilate's answer to Jesus is he literally says, "What is truth?" So Jesus is trying to get at him and sort of help him see what's going on. But even Jesus acknowledges Pilate, he sees past all the authority and the things that he has and says, you're given no authority except for what God's given you. So even that, there's a way to see past the initial and see underneath what's going on. But yeah, you're right. It's a good point. It's not everybody who's in authority, but often people who are in authority have a greater responsibility to lead. And when they don't, yeah. Anybody else?
The next verse says you'll recognize them by their fruit.
Oh.
So like don't just judge it by its appearance at first, but like get close enough to see the fruit, I guess.
Over time.
Yeah.
Over time, it might look promising, and then if there's nothing or it's bad,
Yeah.
or in Gary's case, if it's a pineapple,
Yeah.
it's a whole different thing.
It looks like
altogether.
banana pudding, but it's
Do what?
pineapple pudding.
It looks like banana pudding, but there's pineapples in it, and we need to cast it into the lake that burns with fire.
Amen.
Amen.
It was actually not bad though,
I liked it.
but it was very deceiving.
We will not.
If you're watching this,
I think
Gary, we're not going to have pineapple pudding at the Christmas party. Anyway, he did this also with his disciples pretty commonly, probably the most it was with his disciples. Matthew 26 and verse 41, he asked the disciples to stay awake. He's about to be crucified. And he just wants them to stay awake and pray with him and watch. The irony is he knows they're not going to stay awake. He asks them anyway. It comes out a couple times. They're asleep. Finally, in verse 41, he says, the spirit's willing, but the flesh is weak. Is this Jesus seeing past his disciples' limitations and saying, I know you're doing everything that you can, but it's still coming up short? Is there a message there for us as modern disciples? If so, what is it?
It's patience.
Patience
Yeah, with people.
with people?
I mean, we expect them to get it all together right off the bat. And we probably didn't expect that of ourselves when we first became Christians. But we expect them to, be at the pinnacle already.
Yeah.
They're baptized and they're good to go. Actually, we treat them that way sometimes.
I think we should be hesitant to assume intention based off of action. Because, while it's like it can be and often is an indicator, I think we should slow down before we jump straight to, oh, this person did a bad thing. That means they're evil.
Yeah.
Like, we should be like, okay, let's give them some grace. Like, look at the nature of what they did and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actually listen to them.
That's a good point. Is it, I guess, is it outside of the realm of understanding? Is it understandable that Peter and the disciples fell asleep when it's past midnight? I get sleepy, all right? So the older I get too, it's 9 o'clock, I'm in bed, okay? So, and these guys may have been young, but they're stressed out. It's quiet. They're in the Garden of Gethsemane, which is super peaceful. They're sleeping, okay? So Jesus doesn't get mad. Like, he's not like, how dare you, I'm going to, throw you into hell. It's an understanding of, I see what you're trying to do. I understand, but I also know that you have limitations. I think this is also relevant for us in the church. People are trying to do good things. By the nature of us being flawed people, sometimes that's not going to come across well. Sometimes I'm going to put my foot in my mouth a lot, even though I meant to do the right thing. And like you mentioned, we need to have grace with each other. We need to have a lot of understanding. Any thoughts or comments about this one?
Preachers will knock the disciples for doing this to an audience that's half asleep on Sunday mornings anyway.
That's why we have cannons in the front.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. It's why do you sleep when you hear snoring in the back? Yep. Yeah, you're right. We have a very similar situation to Zacchaeus with the calling of Matthew or Levi. Of all the people who Jesus could have called, Jesus calls Matthew, who is what? What's his profession? Tax collector. People start grumbling again. Why would Jesus call someone who he knows is flawed?
Because that's all of them. That's his only choice.
Right. So that's all he has to choose from, right? Noticeably, he does not call someone who is of the religious elite. He doesn't really call people who are well-to-do and high society. He does call people who are working class. He does call people who he knows the world's going to look at and say, that's not the kind of people that I would choose if I was the Messiah. Joke's on me. I'm not the Messiah. Amen? Oh, so I'm not Christ. So I don't get to choose that. Likewise, when we look at the church and we say, well, that's not the kind of person that I would assume is a Christian, or I can't look at this church and I say, well, that person has X wrong with them, or they got tattoos, or they got whatever. And I can't reasonably look at them and say, well, because that's not my idea of what a faithful Christian is, then naturally they must not be a faithful Christian. You see, we're seeing the same kind of thing. So we're seeing too superficially, too on the surface, and we're not looking past that into the soul of the person. You also have a good moment with Peter and Jesus in John 21. After Peter's denied Jesus, asked him 3 times, do you love me? You know, Peter once again, I love you. But there is an acknowledgement in that situation where Jesus sort of needs Peter to understand, I see what you're trying to do, and I see your want to do it, but there's always going to be a point where you fall short. And it's almost a moment where Jesus needs Peter to acknowledge you can't do it on your own. Does that make sense? There's almost a moment where it's like, I know what you want to do, but again, it's being, you know, there are limitations to what you can do and your faithfulness. I think that's part of what being a Christian is really. If I could be the perfect person on my own, why would I need Jesus? Does that make sense? So if I could do all these things, keep the law perfectly, whatever, I had no sin to justify, there would not have been a need for Jesus to come and be the sacrifice. Is that fair to say? So what does that imply about our common situation? So if I need Jesus, I can't be the perfect person. What do you also need?
Jesus.
Oh, thank you. All right, so we're all in that same boat, right? So again, the person you're going to meet at Thanksgiving, the person who's going to say something weird to you, it is helpful and encouraging to think about, well, what does that person mean? What does he intend? And where is he falling short? Just like I also will fall short. Any questions, comments about what we're talking about? Disagreements? Criticisms? So I want to bring this up because you're going to be traveling, meeting a lot of people, and there's going to be a temptation for you to pass them off and judge them. To a point, you might be correct. I would encourage you, though, to look deeper at a situation, look past the person's exterior shell, and ask yourself what's going on underneath. And not only will that help you with that person, it might also help you do some self-reflection. Why am I acting this way? Why do I feel this way? And perhaps you can also do some introspection, look underneath the surface and see what's going on. Thoughts? Is everyone ready to get out of class? Thank you for lying. I appreciate it. I'm not saying you're lying. Okay, let's go ahead and pray. They'll be dismissed. Let's pray together. Father, we're thankful for the time that we've had today. We're thankful for the opportunity to learn more about you, study your word. We're thankful for Christ and his compassion he's had on us. We're thankful for the fellowship that we now have through him. Father, we pray that as we learn more about you, as we are discipled more, pray that we would find compassion, we would find hope, and we would find the grace that you've shown us, and we would give it to other people as well. We pray that in this effort that people would come to you, be your disciples, be saved through your Son. Pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Thanks, y'all.
A quick question Jamel wanted to know. We have for budget next year Frog Fest, as well as we sponsor a cabin at Indian Creek. Are there other projects as a class that we want to do for next year? Not everybody wants.
Do you want to include some money for the Tennessee Child Haven
For next, that might
for
be
next
good.
year? There's something else that we did, I thought about doing around Rockfest this year.
We thought about us doing, having a dock at Smith Lake to pass out candy.
Yeah.
But we'd have to have a dock. Currently, like Catherine's and Deborah's, their docks are too far in for people to, so we'd have to borrow someone's dock. But we thought about doing that instead of Rockfest.
Okay.
I also saw, I thought might be something fun to do, being a float in the Christmas parade.
We used to
Yeah, because I've heard stories of,
the train.
yeah.
That's right. Dennis Trainer.
That's
That's the second time we've been watching.
Cool.
So maybe try to do the Christmas parade next year, Kyle Pippin.
Do we want to try to do the Cordova Indian Head Festival too? It's the week after Frog Festival. That'd be 2 weekends back to back.
No, it's too much. Frog Fest is a lot for me, you
I
know.
know.
I wish we could redo the bathroom at the football field.
The,
I wish,
Indian Creek.
yeah,
Bathroom done.
I'm lazy, I like walking all the way to the pavilion to go to the bathroom.
Put it in there.
Yeah, but
Football fields. The,
there already are plans.
well,
Yeah, we've got plans and estimate already. Be glad for you to help out with it though.
He's not saying don't contribute.
Don't put it in.
No,
But I mean,
it's
like-
gonna take a lot of money to do what we need done.
Oh,
I was there wondering.
It's not a code
But
part.
it's soft. She said, okay.
no, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
What's the, talk to him, I can't, I feel like I'm in the middle, man. Maybe we could contribute
If
towards
you put it in
it.
your budget, it'll be done.
How much would it like?
I got, I said,
If you pull that off, I got some other things for you.
It's scary.
in the dark. Look, I remember the bathhouse house on Bethel.
Yes, yeah, we know we discussed that.
It was, when you had to be.
You didn't have to say it back.
I didn't know you were talking about.
Seriously, two things in relation to
I was the way you said it, that sounded like you were there. I saw that you were.
We used to have like the bunkers. That was like second
Back
grade.
room. Everything.
Honestly, I really dropped off after the first game. So I have no idea what's going on.
Something is
In the meantime, once it goes down 500, 1,000, whatever, towards getting the lights in there, so stalls, whatever, just some minor fixes, then we'll do. But that's, quick.
Okay.
Cause it needs something, it's scary going in that
It is
place.
scary.
Like I said, I flashed out. Of course, I didn't go there last summer.
I don't know how late it is in there, to be honest.
You don't like spiders?
I'm sure to go in there and do stand-up business. I sure ain't going in there and do sit-down business.
Is this still recording?
I hope so.
Probably is. Right on the end.
That was Alan, by the way, said that.
We'll cut it out.
She said she hasn't been in there since the second year we moved there.
when me and Greer had to clean it,
Yeah,
it was like piles of bugs
I would-
and stuff.
I would like to go in there.
I seriously haven't been in there.
Take
It could be nice.
take